So this presentation is for the students of semester 3 on general English. This is MD.JALEEL, Assistant Professor of English, Department of English, Tara Government College, Autonomous, Sangareddy. In our previous presentations, we started unit number 1. In the syllabus of unit number 1, there are 4 parts. Unit number 1 has been divided into 4 parts. First part is a poem, Life, written by Charlotte Bronte. Second part is a prose piece. It is a short story written by Rabindranath Tagore. The name of the short story is A Wrong Man in Workers' Factories. After that, the third section, the third part in unit number 1 comes under vocabulary section, in which synonyms and antonyms are introduced, and some related exercises also given in the syllabus. After that, this is the last section in the syllabus given in unit number 1. That is grammar part. Under grammar, we have prepositions in the syllabus. So in our today's presentation, we try to take the rules, the definition, the exercises related to prepositions. Prepositions are very important constituent grammar thing in English language, because you take any sentence, there will be at least one preposition will be present. So actually prepositions are one of the groups in parts of speech. You know that parts of speech talks about the groups of vocabulary words in English language. Parts of speech divides all the words in English language into 8 groups. Among them, prepositions is also one group. But here, preposition has been introduced in the syllabus as a special entity, special group, because they are very much important. And if we know the proper rules, proper usage of prepositions, then we will be able to use correct, appropriate, and flawless sentences. So it is always important for students to know the rules related to prepositions. So in our unit number 1, the 4th section, the last section, is grammar topic, and under that we have prepositions in our syllabus. So in our today's presentation, we try to take a detailed study on prepositions. Basically, if I put a question to the students, how do you define prepositions? What are prepositions? Immediately they answer that prepositions are those words usually which tell the relationship between the words of a sentence, because already you studied about prepositions in your previous classes. So you will be you are supposed to having the rudimentary, that basic knowledge on prepositions. So basically prepositions are those words which tell the relationship between the words of a sentence. If I ask you to tell one sentence, one example for prepositions, generally the students may tell this sentence. The book is on the table. The book is on the table. If you carefully observe in the sentence, we have two things. One thing is the book, and the second thing is the table. Okay, two things are there in the sentence, but what is the relationship between these two words in the sentence? The book is on the table. So the word on is establishing the relationship between the book and the table. Means the book is not under the table. The book is not beside the table, but the book is on the table. So the word on is establishing the relationship, how these two things, the book and the table, are related. So such kind of words are called as prepositions. So here on is the preposition. So this is some basic knowledge you may have regarding to prepositions. Now we try to see in detail about the things that are related to prepositions. Here we have two important points to understand about prepositions. The first point tells us that prepositions generally they tell or they show relationship between two other words in a sentence. If there are two or more words are present in a sentence, then what is the relationship between these two words or is told by prepositions. So basically, prepositions tell about the relationships, about how the different things or words in a sentence are related. Usually, the relationship between a noun or a pronoun and a verb. But sometimes the relationship between two nouns or two pronouns. So how will be it? We try to see the two examples given in the slide. First, try to see the first sentence, sentence number 1. The rat was caught in the trap. If you carefully observe this sentence, the first part of the sentence was caught, underlined, and if I ask you what is this underlined part, you may answer me that was caught is a verb. It is given in the passive voice. So was caught is a verb. And the second underlined part in the sentence is trap. If I ask you what is trap in the sentence, you may answer me it is a noun. So in the sentence we have two underlined parts. One is was caught and the second one is trap. So then what is the relationship between this was caught verb and trap noun? So what is the relationship between the verb and noun that are given in the sentence? Then the relationship is told to us that the relationship is in. It is in green color. The preposition is given here in green color. In. So there is a rat and that rat was caught. Where? In the trap. So where was the rat caught is given by the answer by the word in. So here the word in is establishing, is constructing the relationship between was caught and the trap. So was caught is a verb and the trap is a noun. So in is constructing the relationship between these two. So this word is called as a preposition because it is forming the relationship between two words of a sentence. Here it is a verb and a noun. And look at the second sentence. The player kicked the ball into the goal. If you carefully observe, there are two words are underlined. The ball, and goal. So what is the relationship between ball and goal in the sentence? The player, there is a player, a football player, and what did he do? He kicked what? A ball. Where he kicked the ball? Goal. But what is the relationship between the ball and the goal? Then the word into, which is given in green color, is establishing the relationship between the ball and the goal. So the player kicked the ball into the goal. So here, if I ask you what is the word ball, immediately you can tell me that it is a noun. If I ask you what is goal, then you tell me it is also a noun. So then what is the relationship between the first noun and the second noun, the ball and the goal? Then we are trying to establish the relationship between these two nouns by using the preposition into. So the word into here is called as a preposition. So by observing these two sentences, we may come to this conclusion that basically prepositions are those words which form, which constitute, which build, or which establish relationships between the words of a sentence. Sometimes the relationships are between a noun, pronoun, and a verb, and sometimes between two nouns or two pronouns, or a noun, pronoun, or pronoun, noun. So in this way, the words which tell about the relationship between the words are called as prepositions. Now we try to see the kinds of prepositions. How many kinds are there? How many types are there? Basically, prepositions are divided into three types, three kinds. The first group of prepositions are called as simple prepositions. Second type are called as compound prepositions. And the third type are called phrase prepositions. So I hope you know some words that can be categorized as prepositions. First, we try to see the first group, simple prepositions. What are called as simple prepositions? At, by, for, in, of, on, out, through, till, to, up, with. These prepositions are all called simple prepositions because we usually use these simple prepositions. They always occur in the language. At, for example, at we use to indicate the time. Sometimes we use at to indicate a smaller place, a place. And we use the preposition by to indicate the work done by somebody. And we also use the preposition on. Just now we have seen in the previous slide, out. So these are the simple prepositions that we use in our sentences. And the second type of group of prepositions are called as compound prepositions. Compound prepositions are those prepositions. Generally, they are a little bigger in their size, and they used to establish a relationship between the two groups of words. For example, above, about, cross, along, among, around, for, behind, below, side, between, inside, outside, within, without are some of the compound prepositions. For example, if we take the preposition across in compound preposition, we use this preposition that is in between something. For example, Telangana government built uh, a, a bridge, a dam across the Godavari. Means it is in between, in middle of something. The blind man is crossing across the road. Means is moving in between the road. And among is a preposition that is usually used if something happens more than two people. Among. Behind is one preposition that is used to indicate the things that happen at backside. For example, if you listen cricket commentary or if you listen cricket commentary by watching on television, sometimes the commentators comment that the batsman was caught behind. Behind means backside. Who will be standing on the backside and the cricket field? The wicket keeper. So if the wicket keeper takes the catch, the commentator says the batsman was caught behind. Means the catch was taken behind by the wicket. And I think you are familiar with these two prepositions, inside and outside. Something is happening in the home, we generally say inside the classroom. If something happens outside, we usually say outside the classroom, like that. So this is the second type of prepositions. And the third type of prepositions are called as phrase prepositions. Phrase prepositions means usually there will be a combination of two different words. For example, look at this preposition, agreeable to. If something is agreeable to someone, then he uses the preposition agreeable to. The same way, according to. So if something is according to someone's opinion, generally then we use the preposition according to. According to Mahatma Gandhi, non-violence is the greatest weapon to fight injustice. So here according to. So there we have two combination of words, according and to. In the same way, owing to. Next, because of. Generally, we Indians, we use more occasions, more of the occasions, the preposition because of. Why, if to tell why didn't I come yesterday, because of. Generally, we try to use this preposition because of mother tongue influence. In addition to, if you observe, there are three combination of words in addition to, with a review to, in accordance with, on behalf of. So these are all can be called as phrase prepositions because they have two or more words in them. So in this way, prepositions are divided into three groups: simple prepositions, compound prepositions, and phrase prepositions. Next, we also use some prepositions, other prepositions according to the situation according to the context. According to them, these prepositions are divided into three types again. The first type of prepositions are called prepositions of place. Second type are called prepositions of time. And third type are called prepositions of place. Prepositions of position. The third one is called as prepositions of position. Prepositions of place means these prepositions talk about the place where the things are happening. For example, at. Generally, we use this preposition at to indicate a place, a town, sometimes a state, sometimes a country. For example, we can say that my brother lives at Nampally in Hyderabad. So Nampally is a place. So before that we are using the preposition at. And to indicate some place also we use the preposition to. For example, if I ask a person, where are you going? Then he may answer, I am going to hospital. Hospital is a place. So there, before that, he used the preposition to. So to indicates the place. And also the preposition from also sometimes indicates a place. If we ask a foreign student, where are you from? Then he may answer, I am from Nigeria, I am from America. So from is also indicating from which place that person belongs. So from also indicates the place. So in this way, the prepositions given in the example all indicate the place, at, to, from, away from, out of, behind. Sometimes some prepositions, they tell about time. They indicate about time. And interestingly, in the first group also we have it, and in the second group also we have it. Because it is such a preposition, according to the context, we use it with the place, and sometimes we use with it with the time. For example, in the first sentence, when I used it, I told you, my brother lives at Nampally in Hyderabad, then it indicates the place, Nampally. But in the second sentence, my brother comes to home at 6 o'clock. Here the preposition at indicating the time. He comes at 6 o'clock. So according to the context, the preposition at indicates, sometimes indicates place, and sometimes it indicates time. And on is also, it indicates time. For example, when are you coming? Then the person may say that I am coming on Monday. So before Monday, he is using the preposition on. So that also indicating the time. Before, after, since, for, between. For is also used for to indicate a quantity of time. For example, for how many years you are living in Sangareddy? Then the person may answer, I have been living in Sangareddy for 10 years. So indicating the quantity of time, he is using the preposition for 10 years. But since is such a preposition that is used to indicate a particular specific point of time. If I ask the same question, the person may answer, I have been living in Sangareddy since 2010. Here 2010 is a particular point of time. So he's using the preposition since, and in the first sentence, for 10 years is a quantity of time. So according to that, they use the prepositions of time. So these are some important prepositions that indicate time. It, on, in, for, before, after, since, between. And the last type of prepositions are prepositions of position, not place, prepositions of position. Means that these prepositions indicate the place, not the place, the position, the status of the things. For example, on. In the very first slide, we saw one example. The book is on the table. So where is the book? It is placed on the table. So on tells about the position, is on the upside. And among, before, behind. My house is located behind the temple. So here behind indicates the position of the place. So in this way, we indicate the position of the place. So here behind tells us about where it is located. So in this way, the prepositions are used according to the place, time, and the position. Usually, in English language, some prepositions, they go along certain verbs. If we know these rules, it will be helpful for us to use appropriate prepositions according to the verbs. For example, if we see this, the first example, agree to. If the preposition to goes with agree, means agree to something, agree to some plan, some proposal, etc. So we can say that we can use this preposition like this. I agree to your proposal. So there, the preposition to goes along the verb agree. And the second combination is agree with. Agreeing with someone, with some person. For example, we can say, I totally agree with his ideas. So agreeing with someone, then we can use agree, the preposition with agree. Next example is appeal to. So this combination, appeal to, generally appealing to a person, or sometimes in judiciary process, appealing to High Court. If a person if a person thinks that he does not get appropriate verdict, he may appeal to the High Court. So appealing to a person, appealing to a court. And the next one is appeal for. Here appeal for is used for help. I am appealing for this kind of contribution. So here appeal for is used for to indicate some help. And we can appeal against of a decision. In the just now I told you, we can appeal to a High Court, and we can also go against appeal. We can make an appeal against to a decision. And apologize for. We can apologize for something or some our bad behavior. I apologize for my words. We can say like this. And we can apologize for our words, our behavior, or something did by us. So these are some combinations where certain prepositions go along certain verbs. And some more examples. Bring to. So the preposition to comes along bring, means bringing some light or bringing some something to make something known. Something unknown to unknown to is present there. And if we want to make that something unknown to known, then we can use this combination, bring to, bring down prices, especially when we talk about prices, the rate, the cost, we can use the preposition bring down. The government has failed to bring down the fuel prices. In this way we can use. Bring out, bringing out the facts, bringing out the new editions of books, also we can use. Next, complaint of. The preposition of goes along complaint when it complains of something, complaining of pain, etc. And the preposition to goes along complaint to someone. If a person, we are complaining something to a person, then we can use the combination complaint to. I complain to the principal in that way. And a complaint against can be used with something or someone. We can complain against the water issue, and we can complain against the new instructor. So we can use this combination, this verb and preposition combination, complaint against something or a person. And the next thing that we should know when we try to know the use for the usage of prepositions, we use prepositions with some persons. These are called personal prepositions. There are 7 personal prepositions are there, and we try to understand them. They are I, we, you, he, she, it, they. So we use prepositions with these persons. So how we use, we see in the example. Corresponding forms used for prepositions. When we use these prepositions, the corresponding forms of these persons are me, us, you, him, her, it, and them. We will see the examples. Pronouns after prepositions. He gave a book to me. Here the corresponding form is me. So before that we are using the preposition to me. So here me is first person singular and we are using the preposition to. The second sentence, he likes all of us. So here us is first person plural. Before that us, we are using the preposition of. He likes all of us. And the third sentence, I gave a book to you. Here the corresponding form we are using is you. And here you acts as second person and singular as well as plural, because we use this form both with singular as well as plural. So here we are using the preposition to before you. I gave a book to you. I gave a book to him. Here the corresponding form of him is third person singular and we are using the preposition to him. The next sentence is he gave the book, he took the book from her. So here the corresponding form is her and which is a third person singular, and before that form we are using the preposition from. And the last example is them. I went to the library with them. So here the corresponding form is them, and it is third person plural. And when we are using this corresponding form, third person plural, we are using the preposition way. So in this way, the prepositions are always used before the corresponding forms. So whenever these corresponding forms of the pronouns that were explained in the previous uh, uh, slide are used, then we are supposed to use the prepositions before them. He gave me a book to me. Of us, he likes all of us. I gave a book to you, to him, from her, with them. In this way, we have to use the prepositions before the person. So this is some basic introduction regarding to the definition, the rules, the verb preposition combination, and the pronouns and the corresponding forms, how to use pronouns and the prepositions in a combination are so far explained. And in the syllabus, there is some more explanation regarding to the the presentation about prepositions, as well as some exercises are also given regarding to this topic. So in our next presentation, we would like to complete those things, and we try to complete the grammar topic, prepositions, that is, which is the last section in our unit number 1. So I thank all the students for listening this video, this presentation. Just once I try to remind you the definition regarding the prepositions, and after that I conclude the class. So basically prepositions are nothing but which show the relationship between two other words in a sentence. And the relationship between is usually between a noun pronoun and a verb, and sometimes it is between two nouns or two pronouns, or a noun pronoun or pronoun noun. To explain this, we have taken two examples. The rat was caught in the trap. So the word in is establishing the relationship between was caught and the trap. Was caught is a verb and the trap is a noun. So between the relationship between these two words are indicated by in. So in can be in is called as a preposition. In the same way, the player kicked the ball into the goal. So here ball and goal both are nouns, and the word into is establishing the relationship between the ball and goal. So here the word into is establishing relationship between two nouns. So it can be called as a preposition. So prepositions are basically words which tell about, which show the relationship between the words. And importantly, remember, these words may be verb noun, verb pronoun, or sometimes between two nouns, two pronouns, or a noun, a pronoun, or a pronoun, a noun. So this is the basic information regarding to proper use of preposition. So now I conclude the